Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to a presentation of the 1976 Inside Pitch Yankee replay. So I'm glad you could join us. This is game 54, played on June 15th. Now, this is the trade deadline, so there should be some big changes in store for the Yankees. I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to Doyle Alexander. I'm looking forward to Kenny Holtzman coming over. And I'm going to lose a couple of ball players. I'm going to lose Dempsey and Pagan and so forth. But I think it'll all be worth it in the end. And Yanks are doing pretty well in the replay. They're 35-18. And we're playing the Minnesota Twins at Minnesota at Metropolitan Stadium, 1976. Now, Metropolitan Stadium had a batting average of 266 and allowed 86 home runs, which is not very many at all. I guess about a home run per game, a little bit more maybe. Now, the way you play inside pitch is you roll 2d6, and the red one is the column, the white one is the row, and then you can have additional information communicated through the roll of the 20-sided die, or aka D20. So we're right now, the green one you'll see me roll often as the range die, and then there's other ones that I roll as well, and I have them up here at the top. There's a blue, and I just picked these up with the numbers on them just to change it up so I don't have to count. It just gives me the number right away, so it's a little bit easier on the brain. It allows me to really move fast, and I've noticed that my games have gotten really faster ever since getting these dice. So I don't know if it's the dice or just me learning the game a little bit better. So we're inputting the information into Ball Score. It's a little bit, it's a free app. It's got lots of bells and whistles, but it's a little bit clunky. I'll tell you, Mickey Rivers is leading it off in center field. Roy White in left field, batting second. Batting third is Thurman Munson, the catcher, the Walrus, 76 AL MVP. Batting cleanup is Chris Chambliss, the first baseman. Batting fifth is Carlos May, the DH. Batting sixth is Craig Nettles, the third baseman. Batting seventh is Oscar Gamble, the right fielder. Batting eighth is Willie Randolph at second base, and Jim Mason, the light-hitting shortstop, batting ninth. We're really right about the start. It's Pete Redfern taking his warm-up tosses. He was 8-8 with a 3.51 ERA and 118 innings pitched. We're using actual lineups. Doc Ellis is on the mound for the Yankees, 17-8 with a 3.19 ERA that season. So this looks to be an exciting ball game. And let me just right about to start here. Right about to start. Just want to get one thing going. There we go. Got a little crowd going in the background. Perfect. All righty. And the first pitch by Pete Redfern to Mickey Rivers. That's a 2-3. That's going to be a range play. This is when the green die comes into play. And that's a 2-3 on Mickey Rivers, and that's a ground ball second base. With that 3, the second baseman is Randall, and he is a 3, so he gets to the ball, throws off balance, and just gets Rivers by half a step. One down. Pete Redfern. Another replay, another range play. I'm sorry, range play, and that's a 4-4, and that's going to be Starline 2, which is a center field range play. Center fielder out there is who? Let's take a quick peek at who's out there. Steve Bry. Bry's a 3. We roll a 4, and that's going to drop in. Now, that could drop in for a double, and it does not. He's going to keep it at a single. So that's a single for Roy White. A little flare that for a second there you thought Bry was going to get to, but doesn't make it, and it drops in front of him. Gets it in quickly, keeps Roy White at a single. Now Roy White's going to try to get a steal attempt. He's going to try to get a jump or a lead. He's a 4. We rolled an 8. That's not going to do it. Thurman Munson steps in the box. The right-handed hitter in our replays batting 352, having a heck of a season with 40 RBIs in 1/3 of the season. So that's going to be a 2-1, and that's going to be ballpark. So we're going to look at the ballpark card for Thurman Munson. 3-6, and that's a star line one. That's a deep fly ball to left field. And the left fielder, Larry Heisel, back and makes the catch. Chris Chambliss, left-handed hitting first baseman, batting .257. Here's the pitch, 1-3. And that's a potential hit by pitch. He's +1. He's +3. That's 4, but we roll a 15. That's too high. So we're going to roll off Chambliss's card. A 3-6 ground ball hit hard at the third baseman. Mike Covich with a long throw, and that retires the side. All right, it's Doc Ellis. Doc Ellis has a 2.46 ERA. Let's see his won-loss percentage in our replay. He's won 2 in a row. Let's see. Doc Ellis, he is 6-3 with a 2.46 ERA. He's allowed 2 home runs in 84 innings. Here's a pitch to Steve Bryce, a right-handed hitter, batted .264 and about 250 at-bats. That's a 4-3. That's a range play. And it's a range play 2-5, and that's going to be a range play center field. And on the run is Rivers, and it gets by him. And some way, somehow, he gets to the ball quickly, turns around, fires it in, and keeps Bry at first base. A single for Steve Bry off a ball that Rivers usually catches. Just did not get a good read. All right, so Steve Braun. That's a 4-6. That's a blank. And a 6-2 is a fly ball right field. Out there is Oscar Gamble. Under it, makes the catch. 1 away. Rod Carew next. Rod Carew batted .331, well, it doesn't matter in the replay. I don't have all the stats for all the players. So that's a 6-2, and that's a range play ballpark for Carew. Range play ballpark, a 3-4, and that's lined and caught by left fielder Roy White. I mean, he hit it right on the screws, but right at White. And next is Butch Weininger. He's the cleanup hitter. In a few years, he'll be a Yankee. That's a 1-2. And a potential error on a grounder. Let's see if that is going to be an error. 5-6 and a 3 is a ground ball shortstop. We roll a 10. Fred Stanley's error rating, it's short. No, Jim Mason is a 9. So he gets to it and fires the first and gets his man. That retires the side. Trying to grab a pen real quick to take something down, put something down. And there it is. Oh, no. It's not it. I don't want to use that one. Okay, got one I want to use. And he's a 9 there, and I have him as a. All right. Okay, it's Carlos May. Now, Carlos May in the replay is batting .210, but he's been hitting as of late. The pitch from Redfern, 2 righties going at each other today here, 2-6. And that's going to be a potential error on a grounder. So if it's a grounder, maybe an error, 1-4, and it's a fly ball. Left field, and that's Heisel out there. 1 away. Greg Nettles is next. 3-1 is a walk plus. A walk plus against a righty is a 22. We roll at 12. Greg Nettles on a first, ball 4. Oscar Gamble. That's a 2-3 range play on Gamble's card. Let's see what that becomes. It's a 2-6 range play second base, and that's by him. By the second baseman. And that will allow Nettles is going to hold up, I believe. Nettles, let's see his speed. Nettles is a 2. Yeah, Nettles is going to hold up. Let me grab the yeah, I needed a 3 to get the third, so he's going to hold up. So it's first and second on that range single by Oscar Gamble. Oscar Gamble is batting .227. He's gotten off to a slow start, but as of late has improved that. Willie Randolph had the game-winning hit in yesterday's game. or actually Sunday. I believe this is a Tuesday. He bottom of the ninth against Horner and the Texas Rangers. He singled to drive in the winning run. So he's up right now, has an opportunity to put the Yankees ahead. I'm going to check Redfern. And against a righty, it's a potential K, but a 14 is a little bit high. Randolph fouls it off. Pitch to Randolph, and that's a ground ball and through into center field for a base hit. And around to score will be Nettles. Let's see, Gamble may make it to third, and he does. First and third, 1-0 Yankees. RBI single by Willie Randolph. Yankees had a long homestand. You cannot have 2 runners on third base. Okay. Oh, he scores. There you go. Yeah, we had a long homestand, so the Yankees were always at the bottom, so I keep on looking down towards the bottom. Jim Mason. Let's say 6-2. That's a potential strikeout, and it is. Strike 3. 2 outs. Mickey Rivers batting .309 in our replay. Pitch to Redfern. From Redfern, 2-2, strikeout. 3 is strike 3, and side retired. So Redfern, back-to-back strikeouts, and the Twins get out of the inning, allowing only 1 run. They lead at 1-0, bottom of the second. Doc Ellis looks in for the sign. It's a 4-6. That's a blank. We're looking at Cubbage. Mike Cubbage, left-handed batter, 2-3, and versus a righty, that's driven in the gap, and that's going to split the outfielders. He's going to stroll into second base with a double. Easy double from Mike Cubbage. Next is Larry Heisel. 6-1, that's a potential hit by pitch. -1 is a 3. Nope. Heisel's card, snake eyes, and that's a fly ball center field. Rivers puts it away. 1 down. Disco Dan Ford. 66, that's a walk. 14 will not be a walk. And a 2-3. That's a ground ball hit hard at Nettles. Nettles backhands it. Long throw to first in time. We roll a 6. He gets to third. Yes, he does. Great base running by Mike Cubbage. 2 outs. Man on third. And it's Bob Randall. Bob Randall is the everyday second baseman for the Minnesota Twins. Batted .267, not too shabby. This is before the second baseman had to be a power hitter. Pitch to Bob Randall. That's a 4-6. That's a blank. And a 2-1 is a fly ball. Left field, hooking towards the line, and White reaches out and makes the catch. That retires the side. Go to top of third, Roy White. Nice catch, and now he's at the plate. He's batting lefty. He's a switch hitter. That's a 3-5. That's a blank. And a 5-5 is a line base hit center field. Thurman Munson. We're going to try to get a lead, and we do. Let's see if we can get a stolen base. And a 14 is Roy White is a 14. Let's see what Redfern has. He has a +1. Throw down, and he is safe. Roy White with a stolen base, and that is Roy White's. So, wait a second. Let's look at the box score real quick, and that should show White. That's Roy White's 8th stolen base. Now, in reality, Roy White had 31 stolen bases, and we're about the 1/3 of the season. So, I'm going to try to get him to steal a little bit more. He was on first in the first inning, but I didn't try to steal. So that's on me. I got to be more aware of that. Thurman Munson, runner on second. Pitch from Redfern. 3-3, and that's a potential K against a righty, but a 10. It's too high on Munson. A 1-2, and that's pulled down the line into left field corner, and that is going to score a run. 2-0 Yankees, and Thurman Munson with an RBI double. And we're going to intentionally walk. Well, you know what? The bottom of the third, we're going to just pitch to Chris Chambliss here. Pete Redfern to Chambliss. 6-6, and that's a potential strikeout. A 10 versus a righty is too high on Chambliss's card. So it's a 1-4, and that's a drive, and that's going to split the outfielders in left and right center field, excuse me. And after it is Bry, Munson scores back-to-back doubles. Yankees leading 3-0. Carlos May. Pete Redfern has given up 3 consecutive hits, a single to White, a double to Munson, and a double to Chambliss. The Yanks are up 3-0 in the top of the third. Carlos May. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-6. That is ballpark. And a 5-2, and that's going to be a single. Single 9. Let's see if they're going to hold up Chambliss. They are going to hold up Chambliss. They're going to hold up Chambliss, and Carlos May is going to try for 2. Oh, wait a second. It's an automatic double. Actually, it's not an automatic double. It's automatic 2 bases. I just learned this rule yesterday. So Chambliss scores, and it looks like Carlos May is going to try for 2. Let's see. It was a 5-2, which is a 9. The arm on the right fielder. Who's in right field? That's a good question. Disco Dan Ford is a 0, so we're looking at a 1, 2, or 3. He makes it to second. A 4 and 5, he stays at a 4 and a 5, he stays at first, and a 6, he's out. And that's a 4. So he stays at first. So he thought about making it a double and changed his mind, but he picks up an RBI single, and the Yanks lead at 4-0. Carlos May. Now it's Greg Mills. Allowed 4 runs, 11. He's at 11 already, and that's going to be it for Pete Redfern. We're pulling Redfern because he's reached his max in runs and hits. So we're going to Redfern. Who are we going to bring in? We're going to bring in Tom Bergmeyer. Tom Bergmeyer pitched in this game. We're going to bring in Bergmeyer. There he is. Let's check him in. Now, he can go 8. And hopefully he can do that. Hopefully he can go 8. Bergmeyer right there. He's in. Facing Nettles. Lefty versus lefty. So runner on first. 3 runs are home in this inning alone, top of the third. 5-2, that's a potential throwing error. Let's see what happens there. That's a snake eyes. That's a fly ball right field. And under it is Disco Dan Ford. Makes the catch. 1 away. Oscar Gamble. That's a 6-4 hit by pitch -1. So a 7 would do it, and that's an 8. So Gamble gets out of the way, hits the dirt. Bergmeyer's pitch to Gamble, a 3-5, and that's line. Base hit center field. And we're going to, with, who's that? Carlos May's a 3. Base hit center field. Carlos May becomes a 4. Center fielder has got a +1. That's a 5. We're going to roll. He's going to try to make it to third. And, let's see what happens. On a roll of 1, a 2, if the roll is less than or equal to the trailing runner advances on the throw. So they're going to there's going to be a play at third, and he is safe at third base. And now the throw to second, and we got second and third. So heads up base running by Oscar Gamble sets up the Yankees with second and third here. Place runner at second base. So Gamble's at second. Nettles is at third. No, it's Carlos May is at third. Excuse me. Carlos May's at third. Gamble's at second. And now it's Willie Randolph. 4-0 Yanks. It's 1 out. Yanks have 3 runs in this inning. It was Pete Redfern, but he got pulled. He got the hook, and now it's Tom Bergmeyer. Here's a pitch. It's a 2-2. That's a potential home run against a righty. 1-5. We do have a 5, so we're going to roll on On Randolph's card against the left, he's got no home runs, so we're not going to worry about that. And it's a 5-3, and that's a ground ball hit hard at Cubbage at third. Now, I didn't call the infield back in or back, but we're going to hold up on that. It's going to be a throw to first. And now it's Jim Mason, light-hitting Jim Mason. Should have maybe scored because he was coming up. That's a 3-5. That's a potential strikeout at 12, and it is strike 3. Mason gets run up. And that retires the side. We go to Terrell. Jerry Terrell, the shortstop. That's a 4-1 on Ellis's card. That sends us to the 5-3 ground ball shortstop. Mason throws out Terrell. Shortstop to shortstop. Steve Bry, 1 out. Bottom of the third. And it's a 3-5. That's a potential walk. A 16 won't be a walk. Too high a number. We're going to look off Bry's card. A 4-2. And that's a line drive center field. Racing in is Rivers, and he's there for the catch. Mickey Rivers with a great jump on that ball. That was one of those that's tough to read. 6-2 range play ballpark card. And that's a 1-2. 1-2 is a star line ground ball first base. Chambliss takes it himself, and that retires the side. Top of the fourth. Tom Bergmeyer. That's a 5-5 potential walk at 12. Won't do it. We roll on Rivers, 6-4. And that's a ball that's lined center field, and right there is Bry. 2-2, Roy White. That's a potential home run, but a 17 against, he's batting righty, so it won't be. And it's going to be a 2-6. That's a ground ball first base. 2 down. Thurman Munson. Thurman Munson 1 for 2 with a RBI double and a run scored. It's 5-1 against a righty as a star line. Star line 1 is a fly ball, high fly, center field. Bry's there, puts it away, retires the side. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Kind of starting to move a little bit here. And we're looking at Carew, 1-6. It's a star line 6, which is a fly ball center field. Settling under it is Bry. Rivers. And it's Weiniger. 5-3 is a potential walk. An 8. Of course, there will be a walk. Ball 4. Mike Cubbage with a run around first. 6-3. Star line. Could turn into a double play. We don't know. Nope. It's a fly ball center field. High fly. In comes Rivers. Easy out. And Larry Heisel. 3-3 is a blank. We're rolling off Heisel's card. And a 2-5, and that's a fly ball towards the line, hooking away from Gamble. But he's there, and that retires the side. Top of the fifth. Chambliss. Bergmeyer versus Chambliss. Bergmeyer can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's gone 7. He can go 8. So we may push him just a little bit. That's a star line out of some kind. That's a ground ball third base. Cubbage backhands it, long throw to first in time. Gets Chambliss. Carlos May. 2-5, that's a while, so we roll off Bergmeyer again. A 6-5 is a blank. We're looking at Carlos May's card. A 5-2 line center field base hit. Carlos May on with a single. Now he could steal, but it's a 1. Actually, yeah, it's a 0, so he couldn't steal here. Greg Nettles. So 1-3 at Ballpark. Ballpark 2-4 fly ball. Nettles flicks it to left. Little flare, but right there is Heisel. Looked like Nettles was trying to go the other way with that, but to no avail. Oscar Gamble, 2 outs. 6-1 against a lefty. It's a blank. So we're rolling a 3-3, and that's a star line 5, which is a fly to left. And that retires the side. All right, we were able to squeeze an extra inning out of Bergmeyer, which will help us. The next one is going to be, well, Campbell, I think, is their closer, I believe. What was the score of this game? Let's go to the next game and see who would pitch, who else would pitch for them at this time. Vic Albury. We're going to get Vic Albury in here. There he is. Okay, good. And he can go 10, so that'll help us out. All right. So it's Disco Dan Ford against Doc Ellis. It's a 4-5 against a right. It's a potential K. Strike 3. High cheese gets Dan Ford. Bob Randall. 5-6 potential throwing error. And a 2-5 is a grounder back to the pitcher. Error is a 5. We roll a 3, and this may be a 2-base error. So let's see what happens here. Pitcher 1, ground ball, boots it on the throw. So it could be a 2-base error. We have to check on the first baseman. And Neto, Champs at first base, blocks it from going into right field. It's going to be a 1-base error. Randall is on. And that error is going to be assigned to the pitcher, Doc Ellis. Little comebacker. And the throw was off. Pulled Chambliss off the bag. And it's Terrell now. Say 6-1. It's a potential hit by pitch. And, it is a hit by pitch. So Terrell gets plunked. That puts runners on first and second with 1 out. Top of the order, Bry. Here's the pitch from Ellis. 3-4, that's a blank. We're looking at Bry's card. A 1-2, and that's a fly ball. High fly, right field. Back goes Chambliss. In comes Gamble. Pulls him off. And now it's Steve Braun. He's a left-handed batter, 288. So he had a decent average in 400 at-bats. Here's the pitch to Braun. That's a 3-5, and that's going to be a potential walk. A 1 is ball 4. Bases loaded. Bases loaded for Rod Carew. Yankees are up 4-0. Here's the pitch from Ellis. Let's see if he can get out of this one. 4-5, and that's a potential K, but that's against a righty. He's a lefty, so it's a blank. We're rolling off Carew's card. It's a 331 hitter. Remember that. A 6-5, and that's a star line out. Ground ball hit hard. Randolph makes the play. Willie Randolph now, after making that nice play at second base, with the bases loaded, steps in the box. And we're going to get a new pitcher. It's going to be Vic Albury. Vic Albury was 3-1 with a 3.58 ERA and 50 innings pitched. Vic Albury. Here's a pitch. That's a 1-2, and that's a blank. A 1-3, and a lefty. It's a ground ball, first base. Nice play by Carew. 1 down. Next is the light hitting 198 Mendoza Lions Jim Mason. It's a 3-2. That's a blank. We're looking at Mason's card, which is not much there. So it's a star line 5. That's a chopper to second. 2 away. Thank you, Rivers. 2-4 is a range play, so we're rolling the green. We're looking at low numbers on the green for a hit, or rather high numbers on the green for a hit. 6-2, and that's a star line. Star line 7. Larry Heisel, I believe, is a 4-5 range. He's a pretty good range out there. He gets to that easily. Driven in the gap, but Heisel runs it down, and that retires the side. Leading it off is Butch Weiniger against Doc Ellis. 5-4 is a potential K, and a 6 is a K. Strike 3. Curveball gets Weiniger. Had him fooled on that. Nice curveball. That's probably the best one he's thrown all day. 3-4. It's a blank. We're looking at Coverage's card. He's a left-handed hitter. 6-5. And that's line base hit left field. So he goes the other way. Strokes it to left. And Covage is on with a single. Larry Heisel 1-3 is a potential home run. We roll a 1, so against a righty will be a home run. Larry Heisel against a righty is a 10. We got a 10 or less, and that ball is a deep drive, left field. Back goes White to the track, to the wall, gone. 4-2. Larry Heisel gets a hold of a Doc Ellis fastball, drives it over the left field fence. It's 4-2 now, and it's Disco Dan Ford. Disco Dan Ford had 20 home runs. That's a 6-6, and that's a potential walk. Of 15 will not be a walk. That's a 6-3, and that's line caught by Ellis. Oh, self-defense for Doc Ellis. And that makes it 2 outs. Bob Randall. Randall is 0 for 2. He's reached on an error by the by the pitcher, excuse me. Here's the pitch. That's a 1-5. That's going to be a potential walk. And it is going to be a walk. It is going to be a walk. Ball 4 to Randall. He's on at first. He may steal. Let's see. We used that already, so we need a new one. He will not try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. Jerry Terrell. So 5-1 is a strikeout, and 11. It's too high, so we're looking at Terrell's card, a 2-2, and that's a ground ball and through the infield for a base hit. And Randall will... Randall may hold up. Wait a second. S4. Let's see. He's got to get to 3. First and third. And he does. 2 outs. He was running on contact. So over to third goes Randall. Again, the Twins are threatening here. They threatened back in the 5th inning. And now they've scored 2, and they're with 2 outs. They've got runners on first and third. And it's Steve Bry. Steve Bry, the leadoff hitter. Doc Ellis is gone. This is his 28th batter, so this may be it for Doc Ellis. Steve Bry steps into the box. He batted .254 in the season. 6'5", and that's a potential K against a righty. That's what we want to see, but a 14 is not going to be high enough, so we're going to roll off Bry's card. This is a chance here to score some runs. A 1-5, and that's a fly ball. Left field, White settles under it, and that's the inning. So the Twins pick up 2 runs. It's a 4-2 ball game on the 2-run homer by, I think it was Larry Heisel. And we go to the top of the 7th. Vic Albury in there against Roy White. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-4, and that's a potential grounder on an error. So it's got to be a grounder. Otherwise, there's nothing. And a 1 is a fly ball. 1 away. Next is Thurman Munson. Thurman Munson's got 1 hit. He's 1 for 3 today. RBI double and scored a run. That's a 4-5. That's a blank. So we're looking off Munson's card. A 6-4. That's a fly to right. Disco Dan is out there. He's got it. And now with 2 outs, it's Chris Chambliss. Chambliss is 1 for 3. Trying to get his average to 260. That's a 6-5. That's a blank. We're looking for a hit off Chambliss's card. A 3-1. That's a star line fly ball right field. So Chambliss pulls it down the line, and Disco Dan Ford makes the catch. And that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Oh, let's take that. 11. That's a 1-1. That's a ballpark. A 1-6 in the ballpark. A 1-6, and that's a star line 5. It's a ground ball to Randolph. Gets it on a hop. Throws out Braun. And that's going to be a pitching change time. Going to bring in Dick Tidrow. Oh, wait. Let's go back one. Sparky Lyle comes in this one, but it's a little bit too early for Sparky Lyle. We're going to bring in Tidrow. Dick Tidrow's coming in for Doc Ellis. New pitcher. And I'll tell you a little bit about Dick Tidrow real quick here before we get started again. And while he takes his warm-up pitches, Dick Tidrow has a 3.38 ERA. He's got a 1-2 record, 1 save. He's pitched 32 innings. So he's been consistent. Rockaroo, 1 out. Pitch from Tidrow. 1-4, and that's a double question mark, which is on this side. And we roll a 15. That's beyond that. So we're going to look at Rod Caru's card. A 1-2, hard hit ground ball up the middle, and Mason gets to it. Spinorama and gets Carew by half a step. Carew doesn't think so. No, he doesn't. Out number 2. Which Weiniger? That's a 3-5. That's a potential walk. On 11 is ball 4. Mike Covage. That's a 5-5, and that's a tired single. So he's not tired, so that's going to take us over to Covage. A 2-4, and a 2-4 is line center field. Racing in is Rivers, and he's there, and that retires the side. Let's see if we have the right ball player there. Yeah. All right. And it's the top of the 8th. Vic Albury's gone 6. He can still go 4 more. Here's the pitch to Carlos May. That's a 4-6, and that's a potential walk. And a 9er. A 9er will be a walk. Ball 4. Carlos May. Shows some patience. Walks as good as a hit. 3-4. Greg Nettles. We're looking for a power shot from Greg Nettles. 3-4 is going to be a potential ground ball error. See if it's a ground ball. 6-3, and against a lefty, it is a ground ball to shortstop at an 18. I doubt an 18 is going to be an error. We got Terrell out there. It's not going to be an error. It could be a double play, actually, with a run around first. Greg Nettles is a 2 DP. There's and who's at second? Who's at second? Randall, who's a +2. So that's a 4 DP. It's a 2 + 2 + 1. It's actually a 5 DP. And that's a 6-4-3 double play. Great play by both the shortstop and the second baseman, by Terrell and Randall. And that's 2 outs now. And we're looking at Oscar Gamble. That's a 4-1. That's a potential strikeout, and it is strike 3. And that retires the side. Curveball gets Gamble. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Dick Tidger's on the mound. Larry Heisel. That's a 3-3, a potential error. Let's see what happens here. A 4-2, a ground ball shortstop, and a 3 is he boots it. So it's going to be E6. Ball that kind of hit off the heel of his glove and rolled away. So Heisel is on at first. And it's Disco Dan Ford. So the tying run is at the plate right now in a 4-2 game. 4-2 Yankees lead. Hey there, Philip and Forever. How are you, brothers? All right, Dan Ford. 5-6, potential error on a grounder. Holy smokes. And it's a 4-4. It is a, nope, it's a line drive base hit left. And that goes into past the second baseman. But we could still have an error on this, but it's not an error. So that means right now we got a run around first, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Actually, first, excuse me. First and second, Larry Heisel is a 3. That was an S4. And Larry Heisel is going to try to go to third, and the throw to third, not in time. First and third. Let's get him to third base now. Place at third base. So first and third, Bob Randall. Dick Tidrow on the mound for the Yankees. He's 4-5. He was 4-5 with a 2.63 ERA. So had a heck of a season in 1976. Bob Randall, 2.67. He's the starting second baseman for the Twins. The Twins have something going here with first and third. The 4-2 game. In the bottom of the 8th, they've got Dan Ford at first base and Larry Heisel at third. Here's the pitch. That's a 5-3, and that's a potential K. A potential K. We roll a 1. Strike 3. Huge strikeout by Dick Tidrow. Comes up big. Blows a fastball by Bob Randall, who's mad at himself. And it's Jerry Terrell now. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-4. That's a potential home run. He's a righty, a 1 and a 2. We roll a 13, so we're going to roll off Randall's card. And it's a 3-5. And that's line back at Tidrow. Nice play by Tidrow. Can he get a double play? We don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, hello? All right. So that's a line drive to the pitcher, and right around first, a 1 to a 4 is a double play, and Tidrow throws to first baseman Chambliss, and they get him at first base. Great tag by Chris Chambliss, and Dick Tidrow gets out of this inning, and that's a miracle. But it's going to be a double play. Great play. It's a line drive double play, so it's going to be a doubled off first. It's a 1-1-3 double play. And the Yanks, in a 4-2 game, get out of a jam. And it's going to be Sparky Lyle in the 9th. So we're going to get ready for Sparky Lyle coming in there. See if we can track him down. All right. Sparky Lyle is going to be there in the 9th. Right now, it's Willie Randolph leading it off against, he's got 9. He can still go another one. So let's see. Vic Albury's in there. That's a 4-1. That's a potential strikeout. And it is. Curveball gets Randolph. Mason now, he's 0 for 3. He's batting 196. Here's the pitch to Mason. 5-2 against a lefty. That's a blank. And a 5-2 is a ground ball second base. That's, who's that out there again? Still learning this team. Randall throws out Mason. 2 outs. And it's Mickey Rivers here in the top of the 9th. It's a 4-2 Yankees lead. The pitch to Rivers, 6-3, and that's a ballpark result. So 1-6, and it's a star line ground ball second base. Again, it's Randall. Better hurry, and gets Rivers by half a step. Kind of a slow chopper that he waited on for a second there and then charged it. So when he realized it was Mickey Rivers running, and just got Rivers by half a step. So leading off is going to be the top of the order, Steve Bry against Sparky Lyle. Let's pop in Sparky Lyle. All right, so Lyle's in there. Crowd is cheering the Twins on here in the bottom of the 9th. They're down 4-2. Sparky Lyle, left-hander. Now, Sparky Lyle has a 2.03 ERA, 12 saves in 31 innings pitched. He's allowed 7 earned runs and 22 hits. In reality, Sparky Lyle was 7-8 with 23 saves. So he's a little bit better than his pace and saves. I think I use him more clearly and more purposefully as a closer. But his ERA is almost spot on. He had a ERA of 2.26, and in the replay, it's 2.03. All right, so here's the pitch to Steve Bry. Oh, that's a foul ball. Pulls it foul. All right, a 3-3, and that's a potential strikeout. And it is slider. Beautiful slider. Sparky Lyle totally fooled Bry on that. I mean, the slider is his trick pitch. Comes in like a fastball and all of a sudden moves away. Steve Braun, Steve Braun, 1-3, and that's another potential strikeout. And it is back-to-back Ks. Sparky Lyle. 2 outs. Nobody on. 4-2 Yankees. The Twins are down to their last out here at Metropolitan Stadium. Sparky Lyle looks at Munson for the sign. Sets and deals. That's a 3-4, and that's a potential K. And that's way too high for a K against Carew. So it's going to be off Carew's card, a 5-6. And that's a star line 1. Hard hit. Backhanded by Nettles. Long throw to first. Game over. Yankees win. Great play by Greg Nettles to end the game on a hard shot. Rod Carew went the other way on that slider. And Greg Nettles made a great play, threw across the diamond, got Carew, and that's the ball games. The Yanks win it. They win their 36th game. They're 36-18, trying to get to the 60-point mark. They're already past the halfway point mark in the season. The one-third of point mark. And I'm doing the end of the game. It's going to be Doc Ellis with the win, a hold for Tidrow, a save for Lyle. Redfern is going to get the loss. He struggled. He really struggled in those first 3 innings. But after that, Bergmeyer and Albury, not Ellsbury, Albury, both shut down the Yankees' offense for sure. The Yankees never scored a run once the relief corps came in. And this is going to be the 15th this game, I believe. Let's double check. This is June 15th, game 1. Doc Ellis. It was Doc Ellis versus Pete Redfern. Game 2 is going to be Ed Figueroa versus Bill Singer. And let's go real quick. Let's go over the box score. So it was the Yankees 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors versus the Twins 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. I've lost another one on my White Sox 2000 replay. Well, yeah. If you ever see my 1979 Mets replay, I lost 108 games, I believe. That was nightmarish. Cosmic Jerry. There he is. Great to see you, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Forever 90. Yeah, I lost 108, 110 games. It was a nightmare. That's why I decided to only play good seasons for my teams. Because even if I break even, it won't be as bad as losing over 100 games. All right, so for the Twins, it was 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. And for the Yankees, it was White had 2 hits, 307 batting average, and Carlos May raised his average to 231 with 2 hits. Gamble had 2 hits, and he's raised his average to 230, so he's pretty close to actuality. Chambliss, 1 for 4. He had an RBI. 4 Yankees had RBIs. Munson, Chambliss, May, and Gamble. Chambliss has 35 RBIs. Munson has 41 RBIs. So Munson's having a heck of a season so far. Doc Ellis wins his 7th game of the year. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, has a 2.49 ERA. He won 17 17 for the Yankees that season. He was 17-8. All right. So that's about it for this presentation of the 1976 Inside Pitch season. And like I always say, this is your home for so much. You got reviews, you got player profiles, you got tabletop strategy, you got unboxing, you got Topps baseball cards, rants. So a little bit of history, tips. So there's always something interesting going on at CP Cards and Dice. So remember, contact me at combatpainter@gmail in case you have questions, in case you have suggestions, in case you have comments. You can always get a hold of me there. I'm also, I have another email at Yahoo. I can't remember. I think it's CP Cards and Dice at Yahoo, I believe. But I got to check that out and make sure and write it somewhere around so I can see it. But this is your host, CP Cards and Dice, saying thanks for stopping by. I got a couple issues with my car, so I'm home today, so I'll be rolling some dice. I may go into work for half a day. That way it'll save me some money. But I definitely will be back streaming again later. I'm going to go pick up my car now. So take care, guys.